So after Dragweek, and this is the weekend after Sikeston, I'm getting all the water out of it. That was distilled water with some water wetter in it, very little bit. How I do it is just bottom hose, pull plug out, 7/16, and then my heater core, or my heater control valve rotted out. You know, they all do. So what I did is I got one that is naturally open. So when it's at rest, it's open. It only closes when you start the engine. It pulls a vacuum on this. Since these have a push-pull on them, they've got two hoses going to it. I got this one. Why do you ask I do that? So that way when I shut the car off, this thing's open. So that way this is back to pressure that's in here. So that way if there's any air in here, it will bubble its way out, and then it'll eventually get back to this. So this way it'll just naturally burp itself. Also too, if I ever have any problems with it, it's naturally open. So I can always, you know, have heater. So I can basically pull this line off if for whatever reason doesn't work, and then I can have the heater. So I do everything because this is a driver. You know, these things are 50 years old, so they break. And then what I do is I just put a little air into here, obviously, slowly. You know, you put just a little air in there, and then slowly increase it. I've already done this, but you can see the water coming out the bottom down there. And that's just basically how I do it. To get it all out, so that way I can put the coolant back into it and get this thing back to winter ready, because it's starting to cool down already. So this is going to go in conjunction with my mileage. So this will be the same video. Alrighty. So now it's nice and hot. I got heat here and heat here. I fill them up just above that line because it's obviously going to burp a little bit. Plenty of pressure on there. Fans are cycling, and they're going to get this thing kind of burning through. These are the pulse width modulation, which are awesome. And they ramp them in and out as needed. And then I'm going to let this thing heat soak. I have already fixed it, but all those roads made that thing slightly crooked down there, that exhaust. So what I'm doing is I made a bracket that goes from, well, it's hard to get in here, from there to up there. And so it's going to come down and triangulate this so that way it doesn't twist when it goes down the road, because it was twisting, and I noticed it because the back pipe back here right there was angling out crooked. So it was I didn't like it. I want it straight. So that way I'm going to put a little bracket in there, because that one bolt right there, no matter how tight you get it, it's just going to vibrate. So this way it'll triangulate it and keep it as straight as possible. Here's the bracket. I don't know if you can see this or not, but the whole idea is to get this right at about 200 degrees. We're getting close to that. So you heat it all up, and yeah, 200 degrees. And then what I'm trying to do is you take, this is the best paint, DE 1634 low gloss black. That way when you put it, it dries right away and it's good to go. So I'm going to paint this thing up, and I'll show it to you in just a second. All right, moving on. Sorry about the light here, but for the past 2.5 hours, the neighbor's been using his blower, and I mean, there's not that much yard. I mean, you could walk around that whole yard in about 3 minutes, but it just amazes me. I bet you if he had a Harley Davidson, he'd be a throttle blipper, because it's just ridiculous. Sorry for the 30-second rant, but here we go. There's Mr. Bracket bolted on. So this thing's not going anywhere. This is nice and rigid. It actually goes onto that, so that way the exhaust can still flex. So that's rubber. Now here, sorry, I got to move the light. But I've shown you before that I put a plug on the bottom down here, which is nice. So that way I can drain this out. You know, these things barely hold any fluid. I've said this before. So every time I change the engine oil, I change this. It's about a quarter, so it's totally worth it. You know, I got this rear end used from the wrecking yard So it had a ton of material in it. In fact, I had 2 dead bearings when I got it on the wheel. The wheel bearings, I pressed on some green bearings on this, and so far so good. See if I can show you the sparklies. See if you can see them in there. It's getting better. Light years better. It's still there, but it's getting better. So, yep, that's why I change it. Light years better. All right, so anybody who exchanged stickers with me, these are all you guys right here. You'll be permanently put here. Since I got the awesome number 69 for 69 Dart or 69 for other things, you guys are all going to go here, and then each time I go to No Name Nationals, anyone who exchanges stickers, I'm just going to open the hood and blast a sticker. I guess that's going to be the thing. So, yeah, so from here on out, No Name Nationals, I'll leave the hood open. You just come in and blast a sticker, and here we go. Even though it was drag week and the Sikeston No Name Nationals, I still want to keep track of my miles per gallon, just as, why not? So when I started, I had 32,689. Now I filled that up right down the street over here, then put the car, drove it home, and put it right into the trailer. Now I only took the trailer to Dragweek because I had a subscriber give me a, Mr. Jeff, he gave me a Slant 6, so I had to take my truck and trailer. So we put it in the trailer. Then I drove Dragweek, then I drove the car one time to Ashland, and then I drove it also to Sikeston and back. That equaled 34,219 when I filled it up on the way home from Ashland. There was a place there I get up. That was 1,530 miles total. I put in 63.5 gallons. Doing the math, that comes out to 2409 miles per gallon, which is not bad. That's including quarter mile passes. I did what, 7 quarter mile passes, and then I did 5 eighth mile passes on. Yeah, so that's not bad. Plus, a whole host of running down the freeway and hauling ass, so on and so forth. So yeah, it's not bad. So there's my miles per gallon. We will find another adventure, another drive somewhere, and we will, I'm going to drive this tomorrow to TCI, and yeah, we will find something else. New adventures to come. All right, you guys take it easy. I'll see if I can post this out, but 24 miles per gallon is not bad. Not bad at all. All right, guys, until later. Peace.